My fellow Decepticons, it is I, Starscreams-a-lot here, coming back at you today with another video, and today we are taking a look at the beautiful NECA Shin Godzilla Awakening figure. That's right, baby, I get to talk about NECA. Ooh. I love NECA and their Godzilla figures. I have a bunch of them, which I could talk about some other time. Not now, though, because I'm focusing on one in particular, my personal favorite. But I guess it's a little bit of spoilers for, the end of the video, so if you want to know why, stick around, I guess. Oh, yes, that means we're going to look at painting detail. Right now, we can start by looking at his gaping mouth. Look at that beautiful metallic paint with the white, metallic purple paint with the white, and the blacks in there. Not really black, it's just darker purple, but we don't mind. Purple's a good color. Purple enthusiasts of the world unite. And let's take a look at a little bit more of his face. This side of his head. Please focus on the head and not my hands. That would be pretty swell. Now we're just gonna focus on his hands. Come on. Hello. Focus on his face. This camera is garbage. But that is his beautiful profile view. He's got some gnarly looking teeth. His eyes are open, which technically is inaccurate, but technically, who really cares? That's my argument. You can see it's got a tiny little eyeball in there, which is the same for the other side, along with more gnarly looking teeth, which technically are also inaccurate, but who really cares? His neck, actually, I have a better idea. Oh, there we go. That's so much easier to film. Look at that. Just his head in general, looking pretty nice. Right. I am digging this neck. I love the purple in the vein section, I guess you could call it. On both sides, it's looking fantastic. And also his neck spines are looking pretty dang good. A little bit of paint chipping down there. It's not too big a deal. That's just because I've used this figure for a lot of things, mostly in my stop motions. But there we go. But it's from use, not because, well, it's extensive use. Looking at the chest here, we've got a lot of the red seeping through the cracks on his body, which looks very, very nice. And his arms too. And he has some like bone white tan type thing for little fingernails and for his claws. And for his little feet claws. But you also get a little bit of purple down there on his neck. You know, down there on his neck. You can see that if it would focus. Right there. And for the rest of him, it's just the same red and like black, like brown, purple, red combination throughout the rest of his body, with completely white on the inside of the spines all along down here until about here, where it becomes a bit more purple. Then it does white, which I'm a fan of. I don't really care about the white. It had a really white glow in the movie, so I can pass. This is not too big a deal. And going back to his legs, you can see it's just more of that same like red color, red-black combination on his legs with the red inside of the cracks. Goes all the way down to the feet, and technically the feet are inaccurate, but once again, who really cares? Who really cares if he has a few extra toes down there? Who really cares? If you were an accuracy nut, then I don't know. It's no biggie. I like my figures accurate too, but just enough so that it looks cool, if that makes any sense. This topic will definitely be explored in more videos. Anywho, this part right here, please focus. You know what? Ruin this again. This part right here, I like it. I don't really care that he doesn't have a face. Like, you're not gonna get that close to like the thing most any other time. It looks more like a face in the original, which just kind of looked like pus. If you don't understand, just Google NECA Shin Godzilla tail or whatever. You'll probably find it. Anyways, I do like the white though. That is very pretty. And it still does retain that bone-like horrorness, I guess, of the original. Which, again, I really dig. I dig Shin Godzilla's design in general. And the paint and detail of this dude is pretty dang good. He's also sculpted well, which is something I definitely should have mentioned. Whoopsies. But it's just muscle and vein and all sorts of stuff. There's muscles and vein and just, ooh, it's gnarly. Really freaky too. His arms especially are really veiny. They're tinies. I'm just surprised they managed to get that detail in there. Scooching him into the back. Let's just get you out of here. Really quickly, we can take a look at his two accessories, which are just two very long atomic breath pieces that you put in his mouth or his tail. You know this stuff. You know that. You probably know this. They're painted slightly purple in the middle and white on the ends. Which is kind of hard to tell, kind of easy to tell with what's it called on camera. It looks more purple in real life. This purple looks way more like the white that surrounds it on camera. And when I use these two effects, you take your Shin Godzilla, take this metal end right here, and you stick it right in there. And now you can have him destroy Tokyo. Oh, yeah. They don't really hold good, I find, because they don't really go in all the way. So they just kind of hang on the bottom of his, on the bottom of the hole. See, you stick it in up here, it leans down, which is why there's so much chippage down there. It just kind of sits in there loosely. That's probably my biggest gripe with the figure, is that there's no real hold for the atomic breath, which is why I'm really hoping that Hiya Toys or somebody makes another affordable Shin Godzilla. And then for the tail end, if we can focus, I swear to God, just like, please focus on the tail. It's not that difficult. Sigh. There we go. That's better, almost. And then you just kind of plug it into the tail. Bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle, or whatever. It's in the tail. And for the second to last thing we're talking about today is his articulation. Now, NECA Godzilla figures tend to have some pretty decent articulation, right? Better than stuff like the Bandai Vinyls and Playmates, but not as good as stuff like Hiya and Monster Arts, obviously. Well, I mean, it's a nice, good ground. You know, this is the kind of standard you would expect. Like a Transformers figure, you know, you have your standard. Stuff like this, Godzilla figures don't have the same kind of standard as they really do. So what you do get, though, is you get a ball joint at the head, right there, and a ball joint at the neck. This one is also on a ball joint, so you can get some... Wait, you're right, I probably should have mentioned. You can look up about that far, down about that far. Pretty nice down, especially because this is Shin Godzilla, so you want him to bend. his body now, which you can also do with his chest. Wiggle it a little bit. Pretty dang tight. There you go. But yeah, and now you can recreate that scene where nobody knows. Get it? Because it's like, who will know? If you left, thank you. I'm very bad at humor. His shoulders are on a ball joint, so they go all the way around. Okay, well, about there. His elbow can bend and not bend. I don't know what that term is. The wrist can rotate and go up and down, left to right. I like to keep them up because that's how they were in the movie. And at a slight angle because it looks cooler. Well, yeah, I probably should mention this also does rotate, but it's pretty tight and the dorsal fins will hit each other, which I do not want. And next, the leg can kick forward about that far. Very long, very difficult to film. Kick back about, well, I mean, I guess you can't go all the way around. Yeah, I forgot this wasn't a transformer for a second. I forgot it's like, they don't have, these Godzilla figures don't have stopping points very often. The knee can bend and not bend. Keep him bent because that's how he stands. And then there is some ball joint at the ankle, so you can get all sorts of pivots. No real toe up. Nice toe down though. Just some nice solid movement. And then the tail. You got a ball joint right here at the base, a ball joint here, a ball joint here, a ball joint here, and a ball joint here. And this end is bendy wire. So you can bend the wire. Ooh, shocking, I know. But yeah, that's about him. There's some pretty solid poses, I guess. You know, you can't really get him into a pose where he's shooting his thing into the air because it droops the breath piece. But I mean, you can get him in a sort of straightforward shooting pose, which is much appreciated. You can get him to do that, or you can have him shoot both at the same time. If they hold, although I am also on a kind of shaky table. That one wasn't even me. Let it be known. There. See? It can't hold. You can also plug in this one so you can get some double shooty action. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, if he's on something shaky, that thing is gonna fall off. Size comparison time. Oh boy. No, I didn't get another one of my Godzillas out, but he stands at about 6 inches tall. Here's a Voyager. Right, doing Voyager poses. There's Starscream. If we can focus on one of them, please. Yeah. Starscream's about as tall. A little bit shorter. But, yeah. And because he's a Godzilla figure, he sits at about 12 inches long with the tail extended, which it does extend kind of weird like that. Probably something I should have mentioned in articulation. But from the tip of his snout to the tip of, from the end, you know what I mean. From his nose, or to the snout, to the tip of his tail, he's about 12 inches long. And, yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I would be most appreciative, as I am trying to hit 50 subscribers by the end of the year. So, you know, like, subscribe, share if you're interested. You do you, I guess. But I would be most appreciative if you did. Oh yeah, maybe one more size comparison, I guess. Here's a jet. There's a jet. I don't know. But, yeah. That is it. I have nothing much else to say. Goodbye.